this seems far more out of control than the last time we chatted 10 days ago, Jeff. What do you think? What do you think?
I've actually been around the Astros. I think this is my 11th day here, and it's gotten more out of control than I expected, honestly. I didn't think that this was going to be a story that went away. I was at the GM meetings in the Phoenix area back in November and had heard that something was coming in terms of the Astros sign stealing stuff. And then the Athletic story dropped the next day. And I remember talking with executives from the Red Sox, with the Mets, and with the Houston Astros. And I said to them, guys, this is going to be the biggest story since steroids, and it might be bigger. And they were all skeptical. And it has exceeded my rather lofty expectations just in terms of the staying power and of the inability of Major League Baseball to have this go away, which it had hoped at this point would have happened already, and it ain't going away.
Well, Jeff,
there are a lot of layers left here to this story that haven't even come close to being uncovered.
No doubt.
And I'm not talking, Rich, about like other teams stealing signs or anything like that. I'm talking, the Red Sox investigation. Alex Cora is going to talk. Carlos Beltran's going to talk. Players are going to throw at the Astros. What's going to happen with that? What's the fallout going to be? You have a Major League Baseball Players Association that is bifurcated by 29 teams against the Astros, and the Astros just standing there alone wearing it day after day after day after day. What does this do? And I'm not trying to make sympathetic characters out of people who cheated at sports, but they're people who cheated at sports. And, their lives are unbelievably changed because of this decision that they made. And the human element of it, I think, becomes an interesting story. Like, this is just not something that anytime soon is going to be going away.
Jeff Passan here on the Rich Eisen Show. By the way, you're spot on that this is bigger than the steroid scandal because there is no greater performance enhancer than knowing what's coming. Period. End of story. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I probably even said it to you. If I'm a pitcher, I'd rather be facing some guy with a trapezoidal head, with acne coming off everywhere because they're hopped up on 15 different horse medications than somebody who knows exactly what's coming. I'd rather that be the case. All that said, the only way this seems to be maybe to be put to bed is if the commissioner changes in some way, shape, or form his punishment. And the question is, would the players who are so adamant about getting their pound of flesh that they're like Markakis saying today that everybody deserves a beating on the Astros, would they be willing to tell the union to back off and not sue the league or file a grievance with the league if the commissioner removes the immunity that he told all the players that told him the truth they would have, Jeff?
There is absolutely zero chance, Rich, that something like that is going to happen. No matter how aggrieved the players from the 29 other teams are. This reminds me of Alex Rodriguez when he was fighting his year-long steroid suspension. Went into the commissioner's office, was banging his head on the table and just kind of acting impotent. And a union, I remember Michael Weiner telling me this when he was alive. And Michael Weiner was, before Tony Clark, the executive director of the union, probably the smartest person I've ever met. And Michael said to me, and this is a tenet that goes to all unions, a union is only as strong as its weakest member. And right now, there are weak members throughout the Houston Astros organization who are getting absolutely crushed for what they did. And what they did was wrong, and what they did was bad, and what they did hopefully never will happen again in the game of baseball. But the idea that the PA at this point and make them sacrificial lambs to satiate the bloodlust of their brethren, I just cannot fathom a scenario where that happens. You don't have a union if that happens. Simple as that.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.